Hello, and welcome to Buck's Blast Podcast, the official podcast of Buchanan Community Schools, offering an inside look at the people, events, and initiatives that make our school district a vibrant and thriving part of the community. Each episode features interviews with students, staff, teachers, and community members, spotlighting their achievements, stories, and the unique programs that shape the educational experience at Buchanan Community Schools. In this episode of the podcast, we take a deep dive into the Buchanan School Farm, a unique educational resource where students gain hands-on experience with agriculture and environmental science. With over 600 elementary students involved in activities like pumpkin picking, cider making, and maple syrup production, the farm provides a rich, outdoor learning environment. And now, here's Superintendent Patricia Robinson.
Welcome to the Bucks Blast podcast. I'm Trish Robinson, your host and superintendent of Buchanan Community Schools. Today we are joined by two of our members from our wonderful school farm, which is a diamond in our school district. Please, guests, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Melissa Frost. I am a high school science teacher and I'm the farm liaison.
And I am Jared Huttenstine. I am the outdoor education coordinator.
Okay, we have some questions that would allow us to gain more information about our school farm. And just if one of you can give us an overview of what the school farm is, maybe some history about it as well, that will help our community.
The school farm is a unique learning campus. It started in the early 1970s, and through the 50 or so years, it has turned into a place where we offer outdoor learning for our elementary students. Some of the activities that students look forward to are corn harvest and maple syrup. Jared will talk more about those later.
Okay. And what are the age range? I know it says elementary. Can you give us the grade levels?
We offer kindergarten through fourth grade learning opportunities at the farm.
Okay, great. And Jared, you want to talk about the activities, if you can give us a little bit more details about the activities that students participate in at the school farm.
So for each grade, we have 5 classes. So for second grade, I had a class each day that would go to a local orchard, harvest apples, and then we take it back to the school farm and use an old cider press where they would press into cider. Same with the corn harvest. I'd have 1 class per day where we'd go out into the cash crop at the school farm. They would harvest the corn, bring it into the barn. We'd process it through shelling and bagging. And then for maple syrup, I would take the kids out to a local area where we would tap trees. We'd be collecting sap over 3 to 4 weeks, and then the kids cook it down at the sugar shack into syrup.
Over the course of the school year so far, the students have processed 10 gallons of apple cider during the apple cider field trip, 600 pounds of corn that was donated to a local feed store, and we were able to get 30 gallons of processed syrup, which is 1,000 gallons of raw sap. The man hours involved in going from sap to syrup is incredible. And without the dedication of the school farm advisory council, Jared, the outdoor educator, and the caretakers, none of these trips and none of these opportunities would be available.
So, we certainly thank all of you who are involved with making this work and making these experiences great for our students, because without you, they would not have that. And we definitely really protect and admire what we have here, which we know is not everywhere. We are the only school district in our area, in our county, that has a school farm, and we're able to offer that to the many students here that come through our elementary buildings.
One of my favorite events that happens on the school farm is the local history trip that the third graders do each spring. This trip is a moving trip, and I'll let Jared say a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so our historic trip for the third graders, they come to the one-room schoolhouse that's on the school farm premises. They learn kind of history of what school used to be like when it was just a one-room schoolhouse. And then that moves on to our Pears Mill, which is a historic location in downtown Buchanan, where they learn how the mill was operated, and then they go to Niles, to the Niles History Center, and that caps off their trip. So they bounce around and see a lot of different stages of history for our community, which is, great insight for them.
All right, so for me, I was new to the school district, to the area. Will you share what someone new from outside the community will see as they come to the school farm for the very first time?
Yeah, when you first arrive to the school farm, the very first thing you're going to notice is the big red barn. The barn was built before 1900. And then you're going to notice a little white building off to the side of the driveway. That's our one-room schoolhouse, Gardner Schoolhouse. It was moved from 3 miles down the road in the 1970s. A group of local businessmen got together and they wanted to preserve the schoolhouse. So they raised the money to move it down the road, bring it, and they completely refurbished it. It took them about 10 years from start to finish. That account has $8 in it now. And so if they could build the money for that, then maybe there's some hope for us. Some of the other things you'll see at the school farm is our state-of-the-art sugar shack. It would not look like that to like most people, but I've had the opportunity to visit several other sugar shacks around the state, and ours is top notch. So if you ever get a chance to check out maple syrup at the school farm, you definitely should, because our system is state of the art. We have, of course, a chicken coop, because sometimes we have chickens at the farm. We have about 25 acres of cropland that is leased by a local farmer, Maston Farms. They do an interesting thing for us. They cash crop the field for us, and they give us the money for the seed that they process in the fall, and that really is the sustaining funds that keeps the school farm programming going forward. You'll also notice native prairies and about 3 acres of pine and maple syrup forest. We're in the process of expanding our maple syrup forest, so stay tuned.
Thank you. Why do you feel it is important to offer students these experiences?
I think with being in a rural community, it's nice to have that connection to agriculture for these kids, and just the hands-on experience and being outdoors. Like Trish said, it's a diamond, because there's other schools in the district that do not have the opportunities that we provide through the school farm.
And then with that, what connections do you have with parents as they're, see their kids participating in these activities and learning about agriculture? How do you connect the parents to these activities?
Yeah, so the parents that come out and chaperone for the trips, they're just as excited as the kids to either learn or be involved. And like Melissa had mentioned, it's over 30 years in the making, and I have parents that come out with their kids that had did the field trips when they were in school. So it's really cool for me to see that connection.
Okay, great. And then as you're thinking about the school farms, it is so exciting when you hearing you talk about the activities, the connections that parents make. So what is your favorite thing about the school farm?
For me, it's just connecting the kids with what's been a hobby for me, and a big part of my life is just plants and agriculture. So to connect with the kids on something that I love too is very special for me.
Melissa, you have anything to add?
I feel it's important for students to have these outdoor learning opportunities to solidify many of the lessons that they learn in school from their science content, whether it's the changing seasons or how seeds continue life, maybe erosion, all the different science concepts that we're trying to teach in the building, they come to life at the school farm. Students spend a lot of time in their seats, and so the farm gives students opportunity to engage in the real world, use their hands, use their brains, and apply the things that they've learned in the classroom in a more concrete manner.
Awesome. The connection from classroom to the farm is amazing. That kind of helps the bulb click for our students. If both of you could talk more about your roles. I know, Jared, you're the outdoor coordinator, and Melissa, you're the school farm liaison. Jared, could you talk more about that role?
Yeah, so as far as the coordinating goes, I work with each principal at each school and making sure we set up the field trips that work with the school calendars. And then I also work with the teachers where I can either go in ahead of a field trip and speak with the classes to kind of give them like a precursor to what we'll do at the farm. And then as far as my role, I'm also a substitute teacher, so I've been able to work with the kids on that level too. And then so when they come out to the farm, they recognize me and vice versa, and just allows me to really have a connection with all the kids, throughout all the different age and grades.
Thank you.
I think Jared's role at the school farm is immeasurable. He brings a skill set that is authentic and kind and compassionate, and he's a great role model for students to see a positive role model. And not all kids have that in their lives. So Jared serves a very important role at the school farm. My role at the school farm is I serve on the advisory council that reports to the school board and the superintendent. Our council is important because we decide on how to best protect and grow the school farm mission and vision for the future. I've been working on this for about 5 years now, and each year I learn a lot about communicating and advocating for rural education and agriculture in general. It's one of the most fun jobs I have in the district because I get to apply things that I'm very passionate about with my leadership role in the district. And so it gives me a unique opportunity to advocate and connect all the areas of my professional life.
Oh, great. Great. And it's a whole dynamic of things when you talk about your role as the liaison, advocacy, connections, and the same thing with Jared. You are also taking your role as a substitute teacher, making those connections too with students when they come to the farm. Yeah. So huge. Thank you. Who else might be involved with helping with the farm, the school farm?
So we have caretakers at the farm. They help us make sure that all of the materials for the field trips are where they need to be, when they need to be there. They also assist in the general maintenance of the farm and the general upkeep. We have 5 other members on the advisory council that dedicate countless hours to each of the field trips that we offer, maintenance of our one-room schoolhouse, Gardner School, the maintenance of the Big Red Barn, the Sugar Shack. The school farm is not something you learn overnight. It's 40 years in the making, so there's 40 years worth of knowledge to be shared and learned from. And so I think every day we go out to the farm, we each learn something new about how it works and how to take this special entity and turn it into a meaningful experience for everybody that goes there.
That is great. So with everybody working together, this experience is very helpful for our students and also for us as we're continuing to learn about the farm. Tell us more about the events the public can attend at the farm.
So the Fall Fest, this was our first year doing that, and it was really nice to close the farm down and end all the field trips on a high note where there was hay rides that I ran with the tractor. The kids loved that. There was spooky stories in the one-room schoolhouse, which was ran by one of our teachers. She did an excellent job of entertaining, and it seemed like a big hit. There was a bonfire with a cauldron just for the kind of a fall effect. And there was also crafts that the kids enjoyed. And there was cornhole, kids running around, harvesting any leftover pumpkins or corn that we had from the fall field trips. And for the first year, it went really well, and I'm excited for that to be an annual thing.
Plow Day is a unique opportunity. We start the morning off with a old-fashioned pancake breakfast in the Big Red Barn, and then we transition into some plowing activities. Local folks bring out their tractors and their discs and their plows, and they just take the 30 acres that is barren ground, and by the end of the day, it's all plowed and ready for crops. In addition to the plowing, our one-room schoolhouse is open. We usually have a memorial or a dedication that we give during the day. We do crafts. The Berrien County pedal pullers come with their little pedal pull tractors, and the little kids, like 5 to 10, they come out and they see how far they can pedal pull. We do more crafts, and one of the highlights is the Megahertz brings the robot and the drone out, and we show how agriculture and technology meet together.
Mm-hmm. There are other partners out there as well, like Fernwood and I think the Scarecrow charities are out there.
Yeah, we partner with over 20 different local organizations at Plow Day. This year, the Buchanan District Library will be there. We will, for the first time, have a rodeo demonstration.
Sounds fun. And now, is that by the new club that's here at the high school?
Yeah, the high school started a club recently called Rodeo Club. And so that's one of our former students here. So I contacted him right away to see if he'd come out to Plow Day. And he said, sure, I'll come out to Plow Day. So we'll see what that's all about. So we're looking forward to some new adventures with the Rodeo Club at the school farm.
Tell us the date and time of the event this year. It sounds really exciting. And we're just encouraging everyone to come out. Come on out.
Yeah, Plow Day will be Saturday, April 26th this year. We'll start with pancake breakfast at 8:30. That'll wind down about 9:30, 10 o'clock. Then we'll head out to the field to do some plowing. At 11, Mrs. Ryder is going to give a talk about bread and threshing and the history of bread not always coming from a bag. And then we'll continue with some crafts from the Roddy Art Center, and Western Michigan University will come and do some local archaeology lessons. The Galeen Chanters 4-H Club will be there with their small petable animals, and so we should have a great day at the farm.
Great. So our fingers are crossed for great weather that
boy.
day. Thank you. I remember my first experience of being in Plow Day. It was quite exciting. I was able to help out where I can, but just really impressed with all of the different activities, and just seeing the plows out there is huge. As we're finishing up, are there any future plans for the school farm you'd like to share?
Yeah, so as we had mentioned, the field trips only go K through 4th grade. My main focus would be to continue that on at least through the high school or through the middle school, if not through the high school. So our middle school has grades 5 through 7, and I'd like to create some programming where they can be involved. Our middle school is basically connected to the school farm property, so it'd be easy to get them involved and come up with some programming for each of those 3 grades as well.
Looking to the future, there are a few big goals in mind. Buchanan is in the process of applying for a CTE in horticulture and landscape management. We're about to clear the last hurdle at the state level, and that would begin in the 2026-2027 school year. And the goal would be that it would be housed at the school farm, because we are horticulture and landscape management out there. I also would like to begin Friends of the Farm, which would be part of the Gateway Foundation, where we can kind of grow the supportive community behind the school farm. Right now, the Farm Advisory Council members, they've served on the council for a really long time, and we need some young folks out there to help us do maintenance and build and dream for the future. And then obviously the biggest goal of them all is to build an educational center at the school farm. If you don't have a goal in mind in the future, it's hard to make little bits of progress along the way. And I know having an education center is a big goal and a big hurdle to get over, but it's one of my main focuses is to make sure that the school farm is sustainable and that we build it for the future.
Oh, great. So I'm thinking 3 Ps. So programming, expanding on our programs that we have, going through 12th grade if possible. People, adding more people as partners and connectors to the community. And then places, adding the education center that will help us be sustainable, place for kids to continue to learn, as well as our community as well, and offering all of those educational programs out there. So thank you, too, for joining us and sharing all things School Farm, and we will see and talk to you again on the next Bucks Blast podcast. Go Bucks!
Thank you for listening to Bucks Blast Podcast. Tune in next time as we hear more stories about the amazing individuals that shape our community. Until then, let's go Bucks!